Hey everybody, welcome back. We're on to chapter 12 of There's a Boy in the Girls' Bathroom. Just before the end of the lunch period, someone knocked very lightly on the door to the counselor's office. "Come in," said Carla. A girl timidly stepped inside. "Are you Miss Davis?" she asked. "Yes, but I prefer to be called Carla." "Do I have to tell you my name?" asked the girl. "No, not if you don't want to." "Colleen Varigold," said the girl. She sat down in one of the chairs around the round table and said, "I don't know who to invite to my birthday party." Carla remained standing. "See, there's this boy I want to invite," said Colleen. "Do I have to tell you his name?" "No." "Jeff Fishkin." Carla smiled. "But if I invite Jeff, then I'll have to invite another boy, because I can't have 7 girls and just one boy, can I?" "I don't, except Jeff only has one friend, and he's the most horrible, rotten boy in the whole school. I can't invite Bradley Chalkers to my birthday party. I just can't." She took a breath. "So what should I do?" "You want me to tell you who to invite to your birthday party?" "Lori says you're good at solving problems." "Lori solves her own problems. I just help her think for herself." "But I don't know what to think," Colleen exclaimed. "I can't invite 7 girls and only one boy, and I can't invite Bradley." "When's your birthday?" "November 13th. "Then you still have plenty of time," said Carla. "Let me give you a form for your parents to sign. Right now, I'm not even allowed to talk to you without your parents' permission." "That's dumb." "No, it isn't," said Carla. "Some parents don't want strangers giving advice to their children." "But my parents won't care," said Colleen. "They said I can invite anybody I want to my birthday party." "That's not the point," said Carla. She handed her the form. Colleen reluctantly took it. "Can't you just whisper it to me?" she asked. Carla shook her head. Melinda and Lori were waiting for Colleen when she came out. "Who are you going to invite?" asked Melinda. "Not Bradley," said Lori. "Please, not Bradley." "I don't know yet," said Colleen. "She won't tell me until my parents sign this form." Chapter 13. Bradley dragged his feet as he walked out of Carla's office. She was waiting in the hall for him. "It's a pleasure to see you today," she said. "I appreciate your coming to see me." She held out her hand. He stepped past her and sat down at the round table. She sat across from him. "The reason the president doesn't wear a hat is because the doorways are too low," he said. "He used to wear one, but every time he walked through a door, he'd hit his hat and it would fall on the floor." "That makes sense," Carla agreed. "Thank you for sharing that with me, but," she whispered, "I thought you weren't allowed to tell me such top secret information." "The president says he trusts you," said Bradley. "Thank you, Bradley," said Carla. "I'm glad you trust me." He looked at her as if he thought she were deaf. He hadn't said he trusted her. He said the president trusted her. But he decided to let it go. She was wearing a yellow shirt with large green triangular buttons all the way down the front. On one side of the buttons was a big white exclamation point. On the other side, there was a big white question mark. "Jeff trusts you too," he said. "I understand the two of you have become friends," said Carla. "We're best friends." "That's wonderful," said Carla. "Today, after school, we're going to do our homework together. At his house. I'm going to help him with the stuff he doesn't understand." "That's very nice of you," said Carla. "I'm sure Jeff appreciates having you as a friend." "I'm his only friend," said Bradley. "But even if he had other friends, he won't have any other friends," Bradley interrupted. "You don't know that." "Yes, I do. I'm his only friend." "But suppose he makes new friends?" "I don't want him to." "But if you made new friends, then his new friends could become your friends too." "He won't," Bradley shook his head. "Just because you and he are friends, that doesn't mean he can't have other friends too," said Carla. "Yes, it does." "Why?" "Because," he said proudly, "so long as Jeff is friends with me, nobody else will like him." Chapter 14. Homework. After school, Bradley Chalkers was going to go to Jeff Fishkin's house, and they were going to do their homework together. Bradley couldn't believe it. Homework. It was all he thought about as he sat at his desk, last seat, last row, and waited for school to end. Maybe it won't be too horrible, he reasoned. After all, Jeff always does his homework. He must like it. The more he thought about it, the more he liked the idea. Homework. Work you do at home. Except he wouldn't do it at his home. He would do it at Jeff's home, and that was even better. It would be his first time over at Jeff's house. And after he did his homework, Mrs. Ebel might give him a gold star. Instead of scribbling, he drew little stars, one after another, until the bell rang. But first they had to beat up those girls. "Come on, let's go," he said, hopping out of his seat. Just a sec, said Jeff. He got a book from his desk. Oh, do I need one of those? Bradley asked. He hadn't realized that in order to do his homework, he would need to bring his book home. That's okay, we can share mine. They walked outside. There was a light drizzle. They're in Mrs. Sharp's class, said Bradley. We can wait here until they come out and then sneak up behind them. Who? Those girls. We have to beat them up so they won't say hello to you. We should probably get started on our homework right away, said Jeff. It won't take long, Bradley assured him. You just have to hit them once and they cry and run away. But it's raining, said Jeff. It was barely misting. Good. We can push them in the mud and get their clothes dirty. Girls hate it when their clothes get dirty. They stood about 10 yards away from Mrs. Sharp's door and waited. Several kids came out, but they didn't see Colleen, Laurie, or Melinda. Maybe they've already gone home, Jeff said hopefully. No, girls always take a long time to leave class, Bradley explained. First, they have to put their papers neatly in their notebooks, and then they have to mark their places in their books and put all their pencils in their pencil holders. Then they put everything away neatly in their desks. He said it as though it was the most disgusting thing anyone could do. Shh! Here they come! Melinda, followed by Colleen and Laurie, came out of Mrs. Sharp's room. Bradley put his finger to his lips, and then he and Jeff walked after them, keeping their distance. They followed the girls around the side of the building and along the sidewalk away from school. Let's just go home, said Jeff. The homework might take a long time. Girls kick, warned Bradley. They don't know how to punch, so they try to kick you. He quickened his pace until he was just a few steps behind the girls. Jeff lagged a little behind. Laurie was the first one to turn around. Ew, Bradley Chalker, she said, making a face. Laurie Loudmouth, snapped Bradley, the ugliest girl in school. Melinda and Colleen stopped walking and turned around too. Grow up, Bradley, said Melinda. Make me, he replied. Hello, Jeff, said Colleen very quietly. Hello, said Jeff. Quit saying hello to him, said Bradley. It's a free country, said Laurie. We can say hello. Not to us, said Bradley. We didn't say hello to you, said Laurie. Just him. Hello, Jeff. Hello, said Jeff. Laurie laughed. Why don't you just leave us alone, Bradley, said Melinda. No, you leave us alone first, Bradley said, and he pushed Melinda. She pushed him back. He pushed her again. She shoved him off the sidewalk. He slipped on the wet grass and fell to the ground. Laurie laughed hysterically. Bradley scrambled angrily to his feet. You got my clothes dirty. Bradley wet his pants, teased Laurie, hiding behind Melinda. Shut up, he yelled. You started it, said Melinda. I'll punch your face in, said Bradley. He shook his fist at her. Melinda raised her fists in the air. He charged towards her and then kicked her in the leg. She slugged him in the face with all her might. Bradley stumbled backward and almost fell again, but caught his balance. He glared at Melinda as his eyes swelled with tears. No fair, 4 against 1, he shouted, and then he ran home crying. That's where we'll stop for now. Tell me what you think. Were you surprised when Melinda was the puncher? What do you think Bradley's going to do next? All right, have a great night, everybody.